Welcome! This is the Dino Nerds for Black Lives live stream. We are happy to be doing this for the entire weekend, so the whole point of what we are doing is we are going to try to use the enthusiasm and joy of the online paleontological community to garner as many donations for causes related to the current Black Lives Matter movement. We are done dying, etc. As many donations as possible. So we're going to talk about why we're doing this and introduce the stream while we wait to start with our first guest. Does anyone have anything else to add in here?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. So I'm going to share with you guys the guidelines for our stream. So I'm going to change the thing that I'm sharing. Change windows. Yes, please. There we go. So what is going to happen this weekend is we're going to have a lot of different individuals coming on as guests, people coming on to talk about dinosaurs, to play games, talk about research, whatever. And during that, you, the viewers, will be encouraged to donate to these wonderful causes. So you will do this by clicking on these links we have in our donation links widget in our About page on the Twitch. The four things we have chosen are the Bail Project, the National Bailout, which are two very similar things, but we can talk about them in a second. Your local Black Lives Matter chapter. So if you click this, it brings you to the Black Lives Matter map, and then there's a variety of different chapters in different cities, and you can donate to one that is close to where you live. If you don't live close to one, then one that you support, or you could do one of the other charities. And we also have Renoo campaign. So if you are unfamiliar with Renoo, it is a donation platform, as you can see here, that empowers people to help donate to local nonprofits that help Black and Latinx communities. So there's a variety of campaigns here. The reason we're highlighting Renoo in addition to Black Lives Matter and Bail Projects is because we aren't just trying to help Black people live and to help change the system of incarceration in our country and how unfair and racist it is, but we're also trying to support Black thriving, right? It's not just about Black people being allowed to live in our current country system. It's also about enabling the Black community to thrive, given that systematically they have not been allowed to because of racism. So the Bail Project and the National Bailout, the way they work is that they collect funds from people around the country and then distribute them to different cities so that people can make bail. Bail is one of the big features of our current prison system in keeping Black and other minorities incarcerated and unable to have the same opportunities of white people when they are arrested. So bail is usually set so high that very few poor people, which are mostly people of color because of systematic racism, they are unable to make bail, which is unfortunate and keeps them in jail when they could be allowed to escape. And if you're familiar with the story of Khalif Browder, he was in jail for years because he could not make bail even for a petty crime that he did not commit. And this destroyed his mental health so badly that he committed suicide a few years after finally being free. So the Bail Project helps people to make bail and escape the jail system and be able to be free and healthy and safe before they go to trial or make a plea deal or whatever have you. And it's just one of the many ways our current legal and justice system targets poor people, especially people of color. So that is why we have the Bail Project and National Bailout featured. Also, many protesters are being thrown in jail even though they're peacefully protesting, and these charities help them make bail and escape so that they can protest again or just, survive. So that's why we've chosen these charities. And we'll be reinforcing that throughout the stream. We also have guidelines for you, our lovely viewers. So what you will do is when you are given an incentive to donate, such as if you donate, you'll get to have your question answered by one of our guests, or if you donate, someone will draw a picture for you during their art stream, or if you donate, I will do something silly in a video game I'm playing, whatever. You will donate to the charity you pick there. It does not matter what you pick. And send an email to dinonerdsforblacklives@gmail.com. Very simple, very clear email. And it includes your receipt, your question or request, and the person that you are directing your question or request towards. It does not matter how much you donate. Even $1 helps all of these causes immensely. So just donate what you can and what you would like, and we will give you a reward. You can send in multiple questions, but we will give priority to people who have not had their requests fulfilled before. And you can send it. You can send questions in the stream itself, in the live stream chat, but these will be considered what we call low priority because we will not know that you donated. And if, unfortunately, we cannot get to your question due to time constraints or technical difficulties or personal discretion, stuff happens, and if you would like a reward at a later date of a different kind, we can possibly fulfill that for you later. Am I missing anything, guys?
I don't think so.
Sweet.
Just also be chill in the chat.
Yes. Be chill. We have
We
moderators.
will be liberal with the banhammers.
Yep. We recognize the struggles and unfortunate situations that can happen in chats, especially on streams, and we will be attempting to prevent any tomfoolery to the best of our ability. So yeah. How's the chat going so far, guys?
Pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
Pretty great. Great.
Pretty clean.
So cool. So yeah, so far so good. Would anyone else like to share or talk right now while we wait to get started with guests? This is just kind of our kickoff, yay, charity time thing. So
I think we've done most explaining of what this is.
Yeah.
We could do a quick rundown of who's going to be showing up.
Sweet. Yeah. Can someone else do that? Because of reasons. While I'm familiar with all of our guests, I feel like another individual in our little host team would be better at introducing all of these guests than I would be. So that's why.
It perhaps bears mentioning that the disjointedness or potential disjointedness of this is due to the fact that we managed to throw this all together in like 5 days. So
It's true.
Yes.
forgive us if we're a little weird.
Yeah, and we're also just giant nerds, so we're weird in general. Okay, so who would like to talk about the guests we're going to have tonight? Rebecca Knockerts? I'm sorry. I can't pronounce English words. Amelia Zietlow, Adam Larson, and our fun art shenanigans and extravaganza. Who would like to introduce these concepts? Anyone. Please don't make me.
I guess I will. So, our first guest tonight is going to be Rebecca Knockerts. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyways, Rebecca is a recent PhD in biological anthropology from the University of Minnesota, mostly looking at the ecology and behavior of human ancestors. Up next, we're going to have Amelia Zietlow and Adam Larson, both recent graduates from Carthage College. Amelia studies mosasaurs, and Adam studies fossil proboscideans. i.e., elephants and relatives. And then we're gonna have art shenanigans and extravaganza. Art shenanigans is basically gonna be Tass, do you wanna?
Yeah, I'll give a rundown of what that's gonna be. Hi, I'm Taz, and I will be streaming art for probably about 4 hours, and basically we'll be taking sketch requests for donations, as silly or as serious as you would like, and I will draw them. That's that's the basic premise.
And then that's gonna lead into extravaganza, which is pretty much us. It's gonna be like a variety show, in a way.
Yep.
Where we'll feature retro dinosaur games. Meg's gonna discuss bird care.
Yep.
We're gonna go on a variety of topics. There will be a lot of banter.
Yep. We plan on doing anything and everything we need to do to help raise funds during our extravaganzas.
Keep everyone.
I will show off cute birds and talk about the differences of parrot care, if anyone's interested in that. We also have retro games, and a lot of them, and we will happily play them. Mm-hmm. So there's that. Yeah. To introduce myself, I'm Meg. You probably have seen me around on Twitter promoting this. I am a volunteer at the Field Museum, and I just graduated with a master's in biology from the University of Illinois at Chicago. Ta-da! All right. So that's what we have for today. Tomorrow we have even more wonderful guests. Does anyone want to introduce them?
Yeah, I can go ahead and do that.
Sweet.
Cool.
Okay, so tomorrow we will start off with a presentation by Dr. Audrey Roberts. She is currently completing a 4-year postdoc on the early Triassic bone beds in the Arctic. She's part of the University of Oslo, and she works on Mesozoic fossil animals. Following on from Aubrey, we have Rob Theodore, who is the exhibition and display coordinator at the Sedgwick Museum of Earth Sciences. Now, Charles is still scheduled to go in after these guys, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, after that, we have Charles Peckham and the Brontosaurus, they are a band who, promote dinosaur enthusiasm and paleontological review through rock and roll. So I think they will be giving us a performance in there, which should be a lot of fun.
Hello, Evan. And he's gone. Never mind. Keep going, Taz.
Yep. Okay, and following on from that, we have... let me just get it. Christopher Dean. His research focuses on ecology and the biases in the fossil record and spatial distribution of fossils. So he, in his bio, it says he is currently working several projects around the spatial distribution of dinosaurs within the late Cretaceous of North America, which I think sounds pretty neat. And After that, we have art shenanigans, this time with Tyler. So that will be... So Tyler is here with us at the moment, I believe.
Hello. Yes, I am
Hello.
here. I will be
So-
drawing for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So Tyler will be hosting another art shenanigans session. How am I doing with this? How far through am I?
I'm not entirely sure, mainly because I'm following on the. So you've done Christopher Dean and Art Shenanigans.
Yeah.
So is next David
Mhm.
Fox.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Yep. I'm switching between like 3 different tabs here. So have we moved Emma Dunn?
Oh, with the sorry about that. That Christopher Dean is having 2 of his friends
Okay.
call at the same time. So that would be Emma Dunn and sorry,
Sister and Thomas Clement.
yes, Thomas Clement.
Cool. Okay, so we've got
There will be at
3
the same
people,
time.
3 researchers presenting at once in that time slot. After that, we have David Fox. He is a professor in Earth and Environmental Sciences at the University of Minnesota. He is a paleoecologist who looks at how terrestrial mammal communities change with the climate and habitat. He will be talking about some of the work that his lab does and the methods that they use to sort of study the change in mammal communities over time. After David Fox, we have Pete Mcavicky. And he is also a professor at the University of Minnesota. He is a paleontologist who has done work all over the world, described over 15 new dinosaur species, and has pretty much covered most areas of dinosaurs that you could probably think of. Did he have a specific thing that he was looking at? Do we know, or
Pete Mcavicky?
just kind of? Yeah, the Pete Mcavicky one is more of just a general discussion, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. No, it looks like he's going to be talking largely about Antarctic dinosaurs.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So yes, which is a extremely interesting topic. That'll be Pete's talk. After that, we have Amy Atwater. She is the Paleo Collections Manager at the Museum of the Rockies, and she the Moor, yes.
Yeah.
That sounds really weird when I say it. I've never said that before. She is going to be talking about her research on the extinct group of bone-crushing dogs and the work that she does as a science communicator. And following on from Amy Atwater, we have Karen Chin. She is an associate professor and curator of paleontology at the University of Colorado Boulder. Her research focuses on Mesozoic ecosystems, So she not only looks at dinosaurs, but also all of the smaller creatures and the way that those the organisms underneath everything, snails and beetles and fungi and all of that. And she looks at how those impacted the ecosystems of the Mesozoic era.
After that, we will have more art shenanigans.
Yep, this time with Ripley, who...
Ripley is one of the main artists for the On Hiatus A Dinosaur a Day blog.
Mm-hmm.
Currently
And
not
they
in-
also go by Iguana Don't on Tumblr. They do some beautiful watercolor artworks.
Mm-hmm.
And after art shenanigans with Ripley, we will have Scott Hartmann, who is widely renowned for his skeletal diagrams. I know I personally have used many of his diagrams as reference for my own art, as I'm sure the vast majority of paleo artists have. But his main area of study is about the mechanistic niche modeling and the physiology of Permo-Triassic amniotes and the origins of avian flight. I don't know if he's presenting on anything specific, but I'm sure that will be a very interesting talk. I'm personally am looking very forward to that one very much. And after Scott Hartmann, we have Steve Brussat, who is a very well-known paleontologist. He is a professor at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. He's worked all around the world. He's written several books for kids and adults, and he does a lot of work in science communication. He's been in documentaries, television series. So yeah, he will be presenting with us, and after that, we have a special edition of Paleo Stream with Joshua Knuppe.
Who's here?
He's here, is he?
In the chat right now.
I was
Hello.
in a game of Scribble, and but I'm here.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Would you like to talk a bit about what you will be doing for the Paleo Stream?
Yes, so Paleo Stream is a weekly series of streams. We do this for more than 2 years now, and in this I'm usually drawing, but on Fridays everybody else is also joining in, and so we draw suggestions from the viewers, and we promote in an especially diverse depiction of deep time, you might say, and through that also a great diversity within our files, the paleo art. So yeah, and during this special stream, we will focus on wishes from donors, but also discoveries of black paleontologists.
Yep,
Awesome.
that's awesome. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And
No, go ahead.
up next we have I Know Dino, who I can see in the Twitch chat.
Hey!
So I Know Dino is a weekly dinosaur podcast run by Garrett and Sabrina, who we'll be hosting them for an hour. So if you're in the If you're in the chat, would you mind just quickly saying what you'll be doing?
What they told me earlier was that they plan on playing Lego Jurassic World, which I personally am thrilled with.
Excellent. So after that, we have a massive block of extravaganza, in which Meg and I and anyone else who can be online will be trying to keep up the momentum for 6.5 hours.
Yep, it's gonna be great.
Yep.
Please donate during that time. Thank you.
Do you have a drinking game planned?
Oh, I'm sure we'll come up with one.
We have, I have so many 90s era dinosaur games, and did you know Zoom works on 32-bit computers?
Okay.
So this is going to be great. And also, I can show off my cute birds and make them do cute things for money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be great. Moving on.
Now would be a good time to scroll down on the...
Yes, you are correct.
Yes.
Who would like to talk about Sunday?
I guess I will.
Yeah, save Taz. Taz is losing voice.
All right. So we're gonna start off with more art shenanigans with Taz and Joshua. Then our next guest, our first one on Sunday in at least this time zone, is Darren Naish, mastermind behind Tetrapod Zoology, author, freelance researcher affiliated with the University of Southampton, and author of many books geared towards general audiences. Mm-hmm. Best books, by the way. He'll be talking for an hour. Up next, we're gonna have Thomas Holtz, vertebrate paleontology lecturer at University of Maryland College Park, and author of one of the best dinosaur books for general audiences that has ever been written.
Also a longtime comrade. Let's all be honest here.
Yep.
And dinosaur meme lord.
I was about to say.
If you don't know Thomas Holtz, you will now. Let's put it that way.
After that, we're gonna have 2 hours of the After that, we're going to have 2 hours featuring Juan Benito, Lizzie Steele, Clara Widrig, and Daniel Field, all members of the Field Lab at the University of Cambridge. Juan is researching postcranial morphology of Mesozoic birds, relatively near the crown. Lizzie is studying passerine evolution. Clara is studying wing anatomy of tin moose. And Daniel is basically overseeing all this. His research. Sorry. His research uses the Furbit fossil record to answer questions about how Earth's modern biodiversity arose. Mm-hmm. After that will be the one-time return of Incidents and Reflections, a podcast on science news run by Albert Chen and Joan Turmel. This will be after that we're going to have Gabe Santos, collections manager at the Raymond Alf Museum of Paleontology, an all-around cool dude, I can confirm. He is also one of the masterminds behind Cosplay for Paleontology, Cosplay for Science, which uses pop culture as a way to communicate science to the public. Up next, we will have Evan Whiting, PhD candidate at the University of Minnesota, who studies morphology, ecology, and biogeography of crocodilians and squamates. Up next, we have Francesca Socchi. I am probably pronouncing that wrong.
Rep.
She is a master student at University of Minnesota Twin Cities, studying Geomyoidea, which is a clade of rodents, including pocket mice and gophers. Up next will be Ali Nabavizadeh, PhD, assistant professor of anatomy at Cooper Medical School of Rowan University, and diversity chair of the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology, his research explores the functional anatomy and evolution of head musculature and feeding mechanisms in herbivorous dinosaurs, dicynodonts, and proboscideans. After that, we'll have Kieran Mcnulty, who, lost my place there. Professor of anthropology at University of Minnesota, and director of ongoing research at Rusinga Island, Kenya. His research focuses on early Miocene deposits in Africa in efforts to understand the paleobiology of early hominids. After that, we will have Alex Hastings, chair of paleontology at the Science Museum of Minnesota, who mostly researches ancient reptiles, but this time he will be talking about the intersection of paleontology and comic books. So that's going to be a fun segment. After that, we will have Lisa White, director of outreach at the University of California Museum of Paleontology. After that, we'll have Cindy Louie and Ben Muddiman, paleobotanists at the University of California Museum of Paleontology. They will be talking about Carboniferous coal balls, which are fossiliferous deposits inside coal deposits.
Hello. I'm here.
Did someone else join?
Yes, this is me, Haley.
Ah, hi.
Hi, Haley. Haley is one of our main organizers.
Hi.
And also a guest.
Oh, I suppose I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
I hope you are, because you're in the schedule.
Oh, that's very true. Well, I guess I can talk a little bit about my day. Today was our first field day. I'm currently doing an internship with the North Dakota Geological Survey. Today was our first day in the field, so it was really great. I found a lot of really awesome plant fossils. Some of those got posted on Twitter, if you want to check those out. A lot of metasequoia, like pine needles. Some things that are possibly leaves, but possibly also flowers. We're a little unsure. We brought those back, both the part and the counterpart. And I'm really excited about some of the things that we're discovering.
Yay!
Hey. So, where were we on the schedule? Ah, yes.
I do not remember.
All right. Next will be Riley Black, author of many excellent books such as Skeleton Keys and My Beloved Brontosaurus. She's also done fieldwork across North America, and will be talking about Allosaurus. Up next, we have Evan Johnson Ransom, who...
Hello.
Hi.
Who is here with us?
Who is
He
here?
can introduce himself.
Hello, everybody.
Do you want to
so,
say what you're going to be talking about?
Sure, of course. So I'm currently a master's student at Oklahoma State University Center for Health Sciences. I'm studying under Dr. Eric Snively. For my research, I'm interested in studying the evolution of feeding behavior in Tyrannosaurs. So on Sunday, I'll just be talking about Tyrannosaurs, my research, and just be open to any general questions, too.
And Haley, I think you can introduce the last two,
Oh, gosh.
given one of them is new.
Oh, I suppose hang on. All right, we just said Evan Johnson Ransom. All right, so after that is going to be Clint Boyd, who is currently my supervisor at the North Dakota Geological Survey. He's going to be talking a little bit about Dakota, the dinosaur mummy, which is a mummified, quote-unquote mummified, Edmontosaurus annectens that was found in the Hell Creek Formation in North Dakota. It's a really exciting fossil. I've gotten the chance to examine this thing up close. A while ago, certain images from it went really viral and got a lot of press coverage. And he's going to be sharing some never-before-seen images and other information about Dakota, as well as talk about his new open-access paleontology journal that he is going to be working on setting up. And after that is me, Haley Orwowski, and I'm going to be talking about some of my research that I'm doing on horse evolution. It's not quite as exciting, I think, but still pretty cool. I'm really excited about all of my really cool horse teeth stuff, and I'm excited to share it with everyone.
And we'll be capping it off. It says extravaganza, but we're also going to have a special appearance from some of the developers of Saurian. So
we also might have Yara Hardy. Maybe. She asked me to ask me.
But yeah.
Some of the blank spaces in the schedule may actually fill in the next several hours if and when we hear back from people who said they might be interested. So we will see.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to stream and are available during our many open spots, i.e. extravaganza, you can still let us know. We are open to anything. It's just those are at weird times for Americans. The end. All right. So yeah, we have a fantastic, and as many of you are noting in the chat, diverse and eclectic lineup. Hi, Chidumebi. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but it's great to see you. And I'm glad that you're teaching paleontology online to K-12 students. That's amazing. If you would like to come on and talk at any point, email us. So yeah, we will not be having Montana's finest news, just to respond to that real quick, because we've moved on as a society. Anyone else?
Sorry, I had to bring that one in.
Right. Like, it's 2020. We have moved on. Yeah. There will also not be Maria Sanguis news for the same reason there will not be Montana's finest news.
You're breaking a lot of hearts there, Meg.
Hi, I'm back.
Hi, Evan. Do you want to say anything to our lovely viewers right now?
Yeah, so stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of really fun guests here. And also, be sure to check out the amazing work that everyone is doing, too.
Yep.
Also, this was something else I forgot to mention, but on Twitter, I'm doing this thing called the Summer of Theropods, where I basically just get to talk about, like, extinct theropods. So we have famous theropods and really obscure ones, too.
Yes, please. If you aren't following Evan, follow him. He does some great SciComm work.
Thank you. My Twitter name is @EJR_paleo. Today I just covered Austroraptor, the southern thief of Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like there's enough ankylosaurs going on in there.
It's the summer theropods. It's all the summer theropods, not Thyreophorans.
Obviously, we have to falsify a cladistic analysis to find ankylosaurs as theropods now.
Really? Oh, boy.
I feel that Victoria would kill us.
Oh, man. Well, in that
Victoria
case...
Arthur and Jim Kirkland would team up to murder us. So maybe we don't.
Well, in that case, I guess I'll probably have to revise it again and probably just end August up with Zula then.
Thank God Zool went to a Thyreophoran and not a theropod, to be honest.
Well, I am going to be covering Thanos.
Nice.
Ironically, I should have started this thing like back in May as a little bit of a way to like commemorate Infinity War and Endgame, but oh well.
Don't you love how 2020 keeps upending every single plan?
Yes, indeed.
It upended Spinosaurus again.
Yeah, well, speaking of Spinosaurus, he'll be covered soon, but I'm not going to say when.
Ooh, tantalizing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, the one thing I do like about the Summer of Theropods is that I do get, like, spot, like, really famous theropods that no one really knows about, like Gallimimus. So, here's a little fun fact. Steven Spielberg, he originally wanted to have the Gallimimus scene be stop motion, but he really wanted that to be really amazing and also, like, show off the behavior of Gallimimus, so he instead went with computer animation instead. And he was really surprised and satisfied with the results he got.
So was that the first dinosaur that they tried doing CG on for Jurassic Park, was it?
I believe
I think so.
actually.
Wow.
Yeah. And then also something else. There was, let's see, there's another theropod that I'm also planning on talking about, but I forgot the name of it just that quick though. I think it was probably Megaraptor, because originally Megaraptor was going to be like the final theropod, but because of something else that happened, it's just going to be kind of like, it's going to probably appear like maybe sometime next week or next month though.
Hmm.
And as for T-Rex, well, he'll appear, but it's going to be a very fun month, or actually day when he appears, so.
An entire month of T-Rex. I mean, some people would be happy.
Well, funny you should say that. Last December 2019, I did this thing called the 25 Days of Tyrannosaurs, where I basically talked about different Tyrannosaurs. So it's included Eutyrannus, Proceratosaurus, Guanlong, Bestiophurser. Trying to remember as many names as possible without looking at Wikipedia. Lifanax, Dynamoterror, D-Long, Gorgosaurus, Shuching, Tyrannus, Tarbosaurus, and then for the 25th, I ended it off with T-Rex. It was gonna be 31 days of Tyrannosaurs, but I couldn't really find any Tyrannosaurs that I was satisfied. However, so I just went with 25 days instead.
Amazing. That is a fantastic month-long project. I love it.
Thank you.
Will say, why are Tyrannosaur names like this?
Tyrannosaur names? I don't know, because the name Tyrannosaur, it means tyrant lizard. And the thing is that when you take a look at like most of the members, such as Dynamoterror as well as like Gorgosaurus, they all basically have names that evoke fear, but also majesty. So like D-Long, it means Emperor Dragon, or Guanlong, that means Crown Dragon. So I think they probably want to just show off like how amazing Tyrannosaurs are now too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fair.
Although I will say this though, even though we do know a lot about feeding behavior in T-Rex though, other Tyrannosaurs and probably other theropods and other dinosaurs, they're also beckoning for attention on research on feeding behavior too, like the Abelisaurids.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Wait, so their Tyrannosaurids have like very different feeding behavior than Tyrannosaurus itself? Like, is that...
So this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but
rubbing
my
hands together.
There is kind of like a hypothesis. So research shows that T-Rex had basically a reinforced skull, so it had fused nasals, a very expanded posterior region of the skull. So it basically acted as like a shock absorber when biting. So T-Rex could exert up to 8,000 to 12,000 pounds of force, hence the name Bone Crusher. But that's only for T-Rex though. When you take a look at other Tyrannosaurs, their skulls are kind of shaped differently. So there is one Tyrannosaur called Allioramus. It's a slender-sounded Tyrannosaur from Mongolia, and it's actually rather like half the size of T-Rex, but some paleontologists have proposed that it probably couldn't use the puncture pull method, nor to really have like the jaw spring to necessarily crush bone, however. And for my hypothesis, I hypothesized that very basal Tyrannosaurs like Guanlong and Eutyrannus, they had like very delicate skulls, so they probably not only couldn't have really exerted very high bite forces, but when you subject them to very high real-world forces, like say maybe 8,000 pounds, they would probably show very high stress. But when you take a look at more derived Tyrannosaurs like Gorgosaurus and Bestiophurser, they'll probably show very little stress.
Interesting. That's really good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Huh.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've already gotten off to a great start. I am amused that we put together a science conference in 5 days.
Well, not quite yet. We haven't.
Uh,
Don't sell the skin till you caught the bear.
we might have.
We're getting there.
Speaking Speaking of which, it's 12 minutes till our first guest shows up, so
Woo!
perhaps now would be a good time to set up the Zoom room.
You are correct. I will start doing that. Most of our things, well, not most. Anything that I'm posting will be on Zoom, unfortunately. I will say this now, so I don't have to say it again. We are aware Zoom is an evil company, but it's an intuitive evil company, and thus we will use it. Also, I have a pro account through my university, so that's helpful.
We will be continuing to stream it to the Twitch account, though, so don't...
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You don't have to use Zoom. Other people will be using Zoom.
Yeah.
And some of our hosts will be using Skype and possibly Discord, like we're using now.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Anyone else want to chit chat or talk about a topic before we get to our first guest?
Oh yeah, totally. What do we want to talk about? I can talk about anything. I love listening to myself talk. I don't actually.
The fighting between my birds y'all heard earlier was because my cockatiels are currently thinking that they are rearing eggs. They are not, because they're both male, but we gave them plastic eggs so they can go through the hormonal changes and get out of this phase of their lives. Yeah, it's a little sad, actually, because those eggs are never going to hatch. Anyway! But that means they're very territorial, and so our other bird, who is not a cockatiel, she is a conure, whenever she gets too close to the cockatiels, there's a fight. So, Jurassic Fight Club, aka my apartment. So yeah.
Still better than the actual show.
Oh,
Right?
I was about to say yes.
All we need now is some
Becky?
dramatic, deep-voiced narration over the top of it.
They fight to the death.
No,
So-
they fight to the human breaking them up.
The most deadly predators of all time.
Well, they have made one of our host members bleed.
Yep.
I have not heard this story. Did the birds
Oh,
bite
yeah.
Henry?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, Ellie bit me. She tore some skin off of my finger.
Oh boy, did you deserve it?
Done that to me. No, Henry did not deserve it. I
With its
deserved it.
vicious, curved beak, the horrible theropod rips into its victim.
Oh my god. She can't hear any of this because I have headphones on, but I know she'd appreciate this narration.
Its talons are perfectly designed to tear into flesh.
But in all seriousness, listeners, don't get a parrot unless you A, have time, B, have patience, C, have money, and D, are prepared to lose blood and skin.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that sounds pretty much like sound advice for any pet.
Yeah, it's true. Animals defend themselves. More news at 9.
I heard
Some of my
once of an
invertebrates
old
are kind
man
of like
who
pet
got-
rocks, though.
Oh yeah, good idea. I once heard of an old man who got his arm broken by an iguana with a
Oh
tail.
my god.
Oh yes,
God.
I've heard of that.
Iguanas can be nasty. I had one for 12 years. And he got to be pretty good size, and it got to the point where we did not want to really approach him for anything other than giving him food,
Ooh.
because his tail was just really powerful.
Yep.
Then he managed to break his way out of his cage one day, and we never heard from him again. That was very...
Oh shit. No, I think we recently discussed that actually on our stream that tails are no longer really in use in paleo art as a weapon, except for animals where it appears obvious.
You're right.
But
True.
many more dinosaurs probably use them this way. I mean, look at enormous cordofemoralis muscles they must have.
I remember that used to be all over the place in paleo art a
Yeah,
while
it's
ago,
amazing.
and yeah, it's just dropped out of fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's pretty much just Thyreophorans, a couple sauropods.
Yeah.
Maybe
Kylosaurs.
Tynontosaurus because its tail is just so huge, but
Yeah, but mostly it's just Deinonychus fodder.
yeah.
Yes, the Tynontosaurus usually doesn't get a chance to fight back.
Monsters
Which,
Resurrected
frankly, is
got
rude.
one thing had one good
Yes.
point. Tynontosaurus actually using its tail as defense. The one good thing about that train wreck of a show.
Oh my god.
The Tyrannosaurus doesn't stand a chance against the shredding claws of a Deinonychus.
I mean, we can mostly agree with Holtz that there's, the awesome clades and then the food clade.
I do not agree with Holtz. I highly object to this. This classification is wrong.
Nah, don't you remember all Archosaurs are awesomes?
It's true. All Archosaurs are worthy
There's
of
the
love.
awesome clades, which is the archosaurs, and then there's the food clades, which is the mammals.
So is there? I mean,
There we go.
hypothetically, what would a non-awesome Archosaur look like? Hypothetically, can we come up with this concept? Can't.
Okay.
It's just an inherent.
Like a shrew.
Picture Catylorhynchus, but
No.
Worse?
but more boring. And then make it
It's
Archosaur.
not boring though. It's got a little head.
Yeah, make the head bigger. Make the head normal size.
I'm just trying to think of something and I can't. So that's where we're at. Why are Archosaurs like this?
I mean,
Something
Archosaurs
that
are
has
extremely diverse. It's hard to pick a boring one.
There aren't any. Someone would
Okay.
probably argue a generic songbird, but that someone would be wrong.
True.
Tauroceratops in chat said the only non-awesome archosaurs are fragmentary taxa,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is valid.
Yeah, you're right.
Very valid
Ponderosteus is not a good taxon.
That
least
entirely
awesome-
depends on which fragments you have.
The least
Yeah,
awesome
Thanos.
archosaur is Thanos.
Oh God, you're
Thanos is
right.
the worst.
That sucks.
I blame Marvel specifically for the situation we're in.
Yes.
It's their fault. So we are coming close to our first speaker, which means Henry, we got to switch to Zoom.
Yep, I will shut off the Discord window and
But stay tuned while we get ready for our first speaker,
Ooh,
everyone.
Scary.
I know.
It's all black.
It has gone black.
It's so dark and scary.
hang on. Let me.
Is this how the Tynontosaurus feels in the final moments?
I think it was a bright light
Mhm.
that guided them into the afterlife.
But yeah, should we excuse me. Should we move off of Discord chat once I hop into the Zoom link? Or
Sure.
let's open that with Zoom. And yeah, I know the screen is black. It's supposed to be black. We'll be back in like 2 seconds.
One of our viewers made a beautiful fan art already.
Let's see.
Wait, really? Oh no, normal size head Catylorhynchus. Somehow that's more cursed than a regular Catylorhynchus.
Yeah, in a way.